Sermons of D. L. Moody. Revised and updated by Roger McReynolds. Copyright Roger McReynolds. Scripture quotations are from the English Standard Version. All rights reserved. A Short Life of D. L. Moody.
Dwight Lyman Moody was born in Northfield, Massachusetts, in 1837. When he was 4 years old, his father died. A few weeks later, Dwight's mother bore twins, leaving her with 9 children to raise on her own. His childhood was a struggle through poverty and hardship. He did not attend school beyond the 5th grade. He couldn't spell and his grammar was awful. At age 17, he was given a position in his uncle's shoe store in Boston, on the condition that he would submit to his uncle's advice and regularly attend Sunday school and services at the Mount Vernon Congregational Church. It was at his uncle's shoe store that his Sunday school teacher, Mr. Edward D. Kimball, paid him a visit. Then I made my plea, and I feel that it was really a very weak one. I don't know just what words I used, nor could Mr. Moody tell. I simply told him of Christ's love for him and the love Christ wanted in return. That was all there was of it. I think Mr. Moody said afterward that there were tears in my eyes. It seemed that the young man was just ready for the light that then broke upon him, for there at once, in the back of that shoe store in Boston, the future great evangelist gave himself and his life to Christ. In 1856, Moody moved to Chicago, worked as a shoe salesman, and attended the Plymouth Congregational Church. He asked the church leaders if he could become a Sunday school teacher, and was told that he could, if he would bring his own students. The next Sunday he marched into the schoolroom at the head of 18 ragged boys, whom he had collected during the week. He later began a mission of his own, in an empty tavern in North Chicago. By 1860 there were 60 teachers and as many as 650 children attending. In 1862, Mr. Moody married Miss Emma C. Revell, one of the teachers in his mission school. Soon after their marriage the school had increased to 1,000. Funds were tight, and one morning he said to his wife, "I have no money, and the house is without supplies. It looks as if the Lord has had enough of me in this mission work, and is going to send me back again to sell boots and shoes." Contributions for their immediate needs came a day or two later. A church was built for Mr. Moody in Chicago in 1863, and his fame began to spread. This was during the Civil War. During the war he joined the work of the Christian Commission, and spent much of his time looking after the sick and wounded of both armies. He returned to Chicago after the war, and resumed his work there. The church building was destroyed by the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. In 1873 he traveled with Mr. Ira D. Sankey to Great Britain. His great evangelistic work was well underway.
The editor's introduction to this edition.
These sermons were taken from the book Dwight L. Moody His Life and Labors, that was published shortly after his death. My updating is rather light. I have tried to maintain Mr. Moody's informal style, with all the idiosyncrasies of a man with little formal education. Don't and ain't were part of his vocabulary and have not been changed. My grammar checker was having fits. Evangelists traveled from place to place, and in Moody's case, country to country, and often repeated their sermons to different audiences. His sermons that exist in print were probably preached more than once, and the ones we have in this volume were probably selected by someone besides Mr. Moody. In the process of selecting, I suspect some splicing took place, and some portions were left on the cutting floor. But I have not abridged these messages any further. God used Mr. Moody to the salvation of thousands. His messages are just as relevant today as they were in the late 19th century.
Charles Spurgeon, on evangelists with little formal education.
For myself, I venture to say that I have been severely criticized for anecdotes and illustrations of the very same kind that I meet with in the very excellent sermons of my friend, Mr. Moody, whom I appreciate probably more than anybody else. Many dear, good souls who have heard him with pleasure, would not have done so 20 years ago, but would have regarded him as very eccentric. As to Mr. Sankey's singing, of which I equally approve, would not that have been unpardonable even 10 years ago?
The following are excerpts from Spurgeon.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?